A man who was allegedly fleeing a stabbing when his ute collided with a police van didn't slow down before the crash, Queensland's police commissioner says. Officers are working through CCTV and interviews to determine if the collision was a deliberate attack on officers who were en route to the stabbing yesterday afternoon in Caboolture, north of Brisbane. A male first-year constable and a female recruit, who are set to be sworn in the next 2 weeks, were also injured but are expected to be released from hospital today. Police Commissioner Katarina Carroll saw the confronting footage of the crash this morning. The 3 officers were taken to hospital after the crash. "If you saw that video, I just don't know how people survived," she said. "It is absolutely extraordinary. There was no reducing of speed by the vehicle. It is extraordinarily confronting, and how they survived is just an absolute miracle." A police van and a ute crashed head-on in Caboolture. Superintendent John Hallam said officers were examining if the collision was intentional. "It is really difficult to say at this point in time," he said. Superintendent Hallam said the senior constable slowed before the crash and pulled to the left. "Traffic was relatively congested and the cars collided on the shoulder of the road," he said. "He didn't have much space to go. He had an embankment and a telegraph pole before him as well," Superintendent Hallam said. Assistant Police Commissioner Brian Connis said the senior constable suffered quite significant injuries. But in terms of his overall condition, hopefully he's on the improve and will release more details later on. The driver of the ute is under medical care in hospital and is in a serious condition. Assistant Commissioner Connis said the man was believed to be associates with the alleged stabbing victim. A Queensland police officer has been critically injured in a head-on crash between a police van and a ute north of Brisbane. Head of the police union Ian Levers was at the hospital with the officers and their families overnight. "Behind every police officer there is extended family, and they are suffering," he said. To those police who attended and responded to the incident yesterday and saw the tragedy and their colleagues involved, I thank them for the work they did. It was absolutely outstanding in very difficult and trying circumstances. A damaged van at a house on Moon Street in Caboolture where a man was stabbed. Police Minister Mark Ryan, who lives in the area, wished the officers a speedy recovery. "I know that the officers here are courageous and dedicated in their service," he said. "I commend the officers involved in the investigating team. They've done a hell of a lot of work already. And I know that they will ensure that justice is pursued in this matter."